Already, Alliance up 1-0. Nothing else to think about. They are literally a Dota machine. Could you ever be a Dota machine again, Pycat?
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay, we'll find out where that goes. So I'm going to be hopefully trying to observe. Last time that I was observing, things get going mental. And I'm clicking Ake here. And unfortunately, when I click Ake, I get an Observe Award.
Yeah, and both those wards, I think both teams spotted one another placing those, because the Maiden was from the high ground, but Ake, I think, dropped his ward a little bit faster.
Kill me now, mouse.
Yes,
we might actually go over and have you observe.
Oh, your mouse is giving you
well, I
trouble.
can't click people, and that makes me sad. Bane, art style, going to get bullied off by S4. So looks like we're on your screen now, Pycat. You are commander.
And once again,
in charge.
Yeah, it didn't work so well when James was in charge. I thought we had already established that.
Wait, let me help you out. Last hits and demise.
Oh, thank you, James.
Down to
We're going to see Loda here run into Dendy. He's going to drop the rocket barrage onto Dendy. Just give him a...
Everything you said so far is true. Continue.
Going to have art style blocked in here by Loda, and first blood for Alliance.
You were wrong.
I was wrong. But Loda was down in the end. Okay, I was wrong about the first blood.
It's okay. That's €4.
Yeah, man, that actually hurts.
Are you going to be able to sleep?
I don't think so.
Well, my condolences. Hopefully your other bet
Bottom
comes
rune
true.
is going to be taken by the Dogmeister. 3-2-2-4-20. So both bounty runes claimed by Alliance. They did get the first blood, and then Navi did get one kill onto Loda. Who has boots on his gyrocopter? James.
What a jerk.
What a jerk.
It is kind of a jerk move, though, because you get to chase people.
Yes.
Soniko
might be in trouble here.
And Loda comes in with the boots. He's going to get stunned. And Crystal Maiden actually going to get away for a little bit, but we'll see Loda catch up. And that will be a kill for Loda. And he's died once already as well. So he's died once, got himself the kill. Had to leave the lane for a little bit.
1-1-1 at 30 seconds. In the mid lane, we're going to have S4 against Dendy. PA against TA. Not a very interesting matchup, seeing as there's Refraction and a poor man's shield, so it's kind of hard for them to trade. I think top lane is going to be where the action is at, and we're going to have Artstyle with the boots on the Bane. He is going to go down once again.
Bane's fast.
Bane is fast, and with boots he's even faster, but if you're out of position, that does not help you.
Oh. I feel like I'm going to be taking these skills back to my Dota games.
You are?
I'm going to be learning.
Yeah, I hope so. And your teammates, they also hope so.
I haven't played a Dota game where I've not been called an ass for about the last 5 months.
That makes sense to me, James.
Even before I went to Shanghai.
Oh, really?
It's been going on for a year now. I think it's a bit of a conspiracy theory. But yeah, so far going well for Alliance. A 3-1 start. Going to see S4 kind of try and bully away Dendy. Just a little bit of that PA mid. What do you think about PA mid?
PA mid now is okay. We saw the recent change with the PA being able to Phantom Strike onto magic immune targets. So it's a bit of a buff. I think PA is... it's alright. He doesn't have as great a base damage as TA, and also with the Refraction it's kind of hard to see us. But it's very hard also for the PA to take too much damage, thanks to both the blur and you go poor man shield on this melee hero.
And Legion Commander safe lane?
Yeah, he's kind of edging out Bulldog right now in terms of CS.
He's destroying Bulldog.
He's demolishing.
It may be a 3-1 scoreline, but believe in Legion Commander. If Andy was here,
huge.
And if Andy was here, he'd be very excited.
Yes,
because Legion Commander is
he's 300 gold ahead of Bulldog already.
That's insane.
No one has ever done that.
There probably wasn't a bet for that, just for the pure reason that it would bankrupt Betway, if anyone was correct. But Legion Commander safe lane, you know, just is it like a rush your boots, get a blink dagger, and then just start fighting and buy time for your PA?
I think in this game you don't need to necessarily rush the blink dagger. He might, but I think Legion Commander nowadays you kind of don't have to, because even if you get an early blink, you don't have enough damage to kill people with duel usually. So I think he might go into some blade mail armlet is one option, or two different options. But we could see the blink. Legion quite nice against a hero like Slardar. You can remove the amplification with Prestige attack. Yourself Bulldog is gonna try to pull some creeps here. S4 is going to have no bottle refilled. It's
No
going
bottle.
back to base. And Dendy's actually ahead in this mid lane. So he's doing well.
Yeah, already looking a little bit better for Navi in terms of how the lanes are going compared to last game. General, of course, played his axe last game and had a really strong showing, but unable to really put his team on his back. And Dendy got shut down pretty big mid on his Ember and ended up with a Yule Scepter. So already looking better for Navi despite the scoreline.
Yeah, and Dichara, I think at now the 4-minute mark, has higher net worth in this game than he did at 10 minutes in the last one with his Versa. Falling quite.
So this lane here is probably where we see a lot of the action. Loader going to go in onto Artstyle's Bane. I believe that might have been a stun coming in, but it looks like he's trying to get one last hit. Will be able to get it. The boar is out, so unfortunately Ake is going to drop. And let's see what the boar can do as General wants to run down Loader. Micro the boar, micro the boar. Oh, one more hit. It probably wouldn't have mattered as Loader will be able to get away. And their exchange 1-to-1. Both the cores staying alive. General wants to go in, and he actually will get the kill with the axes. And then we'll go down to creep. So
What
it's
a
a double for
Beastmaster.
General. He must be very young.
He must be really young.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If that was me, I would have ran back to base
Yeah.
already.
And we were kind of jokingly saying how this Legion was winning bottom lane, but now he is truly destroying this Slardar. He's almost tripling him in CS now.
Yep, 35 and 11 against Arrow Bulldogs 12 and 1. And Dendy going to have to salve up behind the tower. It's so cheap now, that little dagger thing.
It is. It's always been kind of cheap, but
But it also
very,
can
very
crit,
cheap.
right? Later on, when you get crit.
you can
It
crit with it, yes.
Stifling dagger.
That is true, James.
You can ask me any questions about Dota, by the way.
Dota
Black Cat,
going
if you
on
want
to
learn.
art style, self-sleep. Protects himself from a lot of that damage from the barrage. Good for you, art style.
And in comes Nico into mid lane.
Bulldog running in
Bulldog
here.
is actually going to be able to turn, and S4 might be able to turn this. Does have a bottle charge left, and Admiral Bulldog is like,
and
please
top
come
lane.
back and fight. Top lane.
James, you totally made me miss
No,
that
it's
kill.
fine. Mid lane is way more important.
Yes,
because
it was
it's
just
mid lane.
another kill on the Bane anyways.
And General going to be running down EGM, and we'll get
Run,
the
push.
potentially kill. Yep, we'll get the kill. And Admiral Bulldog is like, no, this is not a great idea. Dendy's like, get away from my rune. And S4 will get haste rune bottom. Very El Clasico.
Huh. Go figure. S4 gets a haste rune. That has never happened before. We see the Gerard
I hope
going
the
for the
Betway
face
kind
boost.
of does well off.
You know, there should be a stat on how many haste runes will S4 get.
And that's what I mean. I think like I hope Betway get
Yeah.
like a lot of traction, so we can get more bets.
Yeah.
In terms of just ridiculous bets.
Yeah, we should get like a bet as well on what are the odds that the score will be 3-2-2 at
Or
some
the
point
game
in
finishes at like a certain
Yeah.
time.
at 3-2-2. That would be neat.
I wonder if, I mean, I guess you couldn't have bets of like outside of the game. You know, like who's going to shake the first hand after a match
Oh.
at TI,
Yeah, but that
or
should be
who
just a
hugs
guy.
who hugs who. You know,
That's true.
like
And who
Puppy
was
Kuro.
left as well? Who was right?
I think Twitch chat
We're
would
gonna
all be
have
millionaires.
A hasted S4
If that
diving
was
onto
the case.
Dendy. TP in by Dichara. And we're gonna have a duel.
Yeah, that's
First
what
duel of the game.
is going to walk away from the duel. Digiran not able to close that one out, so Nico TP in, and Admiral Bulldog is going to go down, and S4 with his haste rune is just like looking around. He's like, I really want to do something, but I guess I'll just run past you because that's a fun thing to do. We'll go team up with Loader, and he's actually going to get jumped on. Sneaker's going to catch him. Loader will drop his ulti, and he's going to almost get Dendy, but he's going to be saved there by General, managing to shield him up, and actually Loader's going to go down. So even though Navi, all very, very low, are still going to dive under the tower, they want more, they want Ake. No crit coming in, but General just going to swipe him down, and all of them are going to get out. Potentially, Bane Artstyle just going to hold Admiral Bulldog in place, and they're going to walk away, and that's just very sad. That's a very, very sad feeling if you're Alliance and that was your mid-fight. 1,000 gold swing, or 1,500. And
Yeah, great fight
how would you
there
like
from
to sum
Navi.
up that fight? And
That
not
was
my
a very-
commentary for it, but just the fight.
Very, very scrappy fight there, which kind of favored Navi. playing these scrappy fights early on with the Maiden and PA. And
the concept of
Legion.
scrappy fight favored Navi.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
They have a lot of spells that they are easy. If the fight is long, it's very good for them. And also Admiral Bulldog is not yet level 6, so they kind of hurt them in that fight.
What's the shield called from Legion Commander?
The shield?
Yeah, that one.
Press the
Press
attack.
the attack.
Yeah.
Weird name for something that shields you.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I was like, because he saved one of his teammates, and I was like, what's the shield called?
Well, it also gives attack speed, so it's like press the attack, and then you go in. Oh, rock dropped onto the poor Crystal Maiden by EGM.
Press the attack used there.
And we're gonna have the first duel win of the game. And it goes the way of the Legion Commander. So he did opt to go for the early Blink Dagger, face boots into Blink Dagger. And he's having a really good game so far, sitting at the top on the net worth.
So what's the plan here for Navi? You've got this Legion Commander that can move around. So we're obviously going to be looking at potentially going in for kills, and you're pretty much, I mean, I'm making stuff up as I go along, and then you're buying space for Dendi.
Well, I think that they're gonna wait for this book. When they get this book 2, 3, they're gonna have a really good timing, and then they're gonna try to fight when the rock is down. So they can bait a fight, maybe lose a hero or 2, and then take a fight right after.
And what's the cooldown on rock?
The rock has one of the longer cooldowns in the game. It's 165 seconds. So.
All right, well, we're going to have a smoke up. Digira going to be amped up as well. Can't remove it, but so far he's going to find himself the majority of the Alliance team, but we'll be able to run away from the cooldown. Loader just going to end up hitting some creeps there, and I don't think they want to dive, but EGM is like, no, we're going in. Loader's like, no, this is why we don't. Dies to a tower after taking an auto attack from a Bane, and Artstyle going to hold up here. Admiral Bulldog, Digira comes in, wants to take a duel, so Nico's with him, and looks like the kill will go in.
Yeah, and that's the wonky sleep interaction with Jewel. So you're hitting each other, and both heroes are just getting slept. But there was some extra damage there, so another duel win goes the way of the Jira, and he's going to go in for a Blade Mail now.
This is quite aggressive from Alliance, what they're trying to do. Do you think it's just very unfortunate, the last 2 results of their team fights? Because they started off pretty strong. Obviously, lanes weren't great, but the first messy fight middle, you know, went heavily in Navi's favor, and that fight as well, again, heavily in Navi's favor.
Yeah, I think their execution has been a bit off as well. We saw EGM drop the rock for that one Crystal Maiden. If he had that later on, maybe they could have gotten a couple more kills in another fight. So they're kind of fighting, and Bulldog also, he just got his level 6, but he's very underfarmed on the Slaughter. He is now kind of where Dichara was in the last game with this really poor hero. And that's not really where they need him to be. Dendi diving onto EGM, gonna get the kill.
Okay, gonna come in, wants to get a kill onto Dendi. Not sure if that's gonna be possible. So Nico gonna throw out a slow, and the misses uphill, or just misses in general onto Dendi, are gonna be again once again in favor of Navi, and potentially now could put some pressure onto the tower. But as you mentioned, they're really maybe waiting for the books to start killing towers.
Yeah, we have the book 1 on general right now. They're gonna look to probably take out this mid tier 1. And Dendi is having a good game now as well. It looks like he's going into the drums, base drums with the Tequila. See what he turns that into later on.
Admiral Bulldog might find himself a little out of position.
Top lane, move forward, smoked heroes, going towards Loda.
Don't want to use Jewel straight away, wants to save it just for a little bit, and Loda is going to drop his cooldown, but in comes the late Jewel that will help him pick up the kill. So Nico also going to use his freezing field on Crystal Maiden to help secure that, and that's the 3rd Jewel win over for General. And in middle, nothing did come of the positioning of Admiral Bulldog. It looked like if he went a little bit aggressive, he either had backup and it was going to be a bait, or the fact that the Bane might be able to grip him and hold him in position, and we are now going to see an invis. EGM looks very slow. Like he almost compared to the, he does have his boots, but he's very slow compared to his Slaughter.
It's a pretty slow hero, Warlock. Yeah, I think Alliance they're gonna want to take Roche relatively soon. They're waiting for the right time to do it. However, Dichara is pushing in this top lane, so he's gonna deal a little bit of damage maybe to this tower. Now we're gonna take the tier 1 mid, and Alliance are gonna go for the tier 1 at bottom. But Navi have the books already popped and the aura, so I think that Navi will just keep going here. If they can trade this mid tier 2 for their tier 1 bottom, I think they're very, very happy with that.
Looks like Blade Mail, his item of choice. for the Legion Commander. We'll stay with Pycat's PC for the moment. I do believe that mine actually got fixed in the break.
Yeah,
the wardrobe monsters are amazing, but I quite like your observing because you don't miss anything.
Thank you. Quite like it as well.
But your audio was wrong, apparently.
All right.
So I will apologize to people at home. We had my audio and your vision.
That is not great.
But now we fixed it.
Navi did deal some damage to this tier 3 already at the 13 minutes in. So Navi are looking really strong right now in this game. We're gonna have the book 2 be purchased pretty soon here by General. Navi are gonna look to take the tier 2 top soon. Or at least deal some damage to it. Alliance are going to be smoked up. They're gonna need S4, Bulldog.
Let's see what they can make of the situation. Cooldown is only level 1, but it is available. They're going to catch Dendi out first, but unfortunately the stun is going to miss. EGM going to drop the Warlock. They're going to go straight onto Suniko. He's going to get blown up, and the chase potential is there potentially, but it really needs Bulldog to catch. But it is, you know, the team trying to slow the best they can, trying to slow Dendi. They are going to catch him. He's going to get away just in time onto the Legion Commander. Have they got another Pressy attack to remove? Yep, they do, and that will get him away. And also a nice sleep there from Artstyle. Loda moving in a little bit, maybe too far here. Is going to get picked up by Dendi's Stifling Dagger. And Admiral Bulldog is like, no, you killed my longtime friend. I want revenge, but actually he's going to put himself in a pretty awkward position. He is going to go down. Dendi didn't get the kill. It was Artstyle. This Bane is doing absolute work, and the Golem's still chasing, but not really doing much. And even though the Fatal Bonds have been on the fight a few times, they really haven't been able to just lock down a kill. And so Nico is going to TP back, going to find himself S4 though. Dendi is going to jump on to give a little bit of help. S4 is actually going to get jeweled up, and that blade mail ripping through S4 after refraction was down.
Yeah.
And the brain sap. Well, we'll throw it all in. And did EGM actually get a counter kill? Yeah, he did get Suniko. So 2 deaths for Suniko, but overall Navi seemed unchaseable. And when you give him an opportunity where Dendi can shine in those little personal moments where he's able to, you know, decide a split second when to go in or when not to, he played it absolutely great. But I've got to say, this Bane, Artstyle on Bane, has been playing absolutely scary.
He did have a very rough start with going 0-4, but he has caught up now. And Navi have taken a lot of good fights. All of these long fights where Alliance keep chasing, and Alliance kind of don't have the catch. They have this TA with the traps, but the Slaughter does not have a blink. He's 0-3-0, and the fact that he does not have a blink at 16 minutes is kind of what's hurting them right now. Because they're not able to chase this PA. The daggers, the drums from Dendi, and the face boots kept him alive, as well as that last blink strike in the last moment.
We're actually going to go in on Admiral Bulldog here. Dendi, though, wasn't expecting maybe to find S4, but he's going to get backup from Suniko, and I don't think Alliance know just how many lack of players, but they don't certainly have the burst to take down Dendi. He does have a Talisman and also his passive dodge, so very, very difficult for S4 to actually get a kill on, and it looks like pressure now will be coming out to tier 1. Suniko and Dendi do want to continue to chase Bulldog. He actually will now go down to Digirah, and in comes the Jewel as well. Blade Mail is up. That's going to be the kill. Loader's in with a cooldown. Catches some of them, but I do believe there's also a mech up on the Bane. I'm not sure if it arrived on time. Yeah, it did. So the mech used, but look at this. EGM gets absolutely an amazing Fatal Bonds. Just a stupid amount of damage with the help from his Gyrocopter, and actually putting out that many kills back in favor of Alliance. I don't think they expected it to go that well, but just showing the power of what a Warlock can do. Look at the damage there, or XP change.
Yeah, I think the Death Ward as well as Loda. Loda got a 5-man cooldown. I think both of those cooldowns hit 4 or 5 heroes.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to make too much of a difference, but afterwards the Fatal Bonds came in.
And General is going to just turn here on Bulldog and get another kill.
No. Classic Bulldog. What a joker.
I don't think that Alliance can catch up to him.
So summarize that fight for me if you can remember. Or
that was
anything I particularly said that was stupid that you would like to correct for the audience at home. And remember, the game might only last 20 minutes.
You know what?
So don't go.
I think you did. You were fine in that.
Oh,
fight.
thank you.
You were fine.
But anything that you wanted to point out that happened in terms of?
Well, so you can see Alliance, it's kind of hard for them to fight. It was a good freezing field from the Crystal Maiden, good chase onto the Slardar. He did go down twice, he's now 0-5. We're gonna have S4 slept here by the Bane. And then he's going on to Akte.
Stun won't be bouncing back. And it looks like that's going to be a nice easy kill for Dendi. He's actually a 3rd on net worth right now. And both the Beefmaster and Legion Commander have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Loader had a little tough time, but he ended up
Top
in a lot of
duel
kills.
onto Loader with the blade mail.
Loader's tough
Easy
time continues.
Yeah, so this Slaughter now, we can see he's struggling a lot in this game. It's very hard for him to go in at this point, not having this Blink Dagger. And we did see Dendy pick up this Talisman of Evasion, which is quite unusual on a PA, seeing as you already have the Blur. We're gonna miss a kill onto the Warlock, as there were two multiple fights going on at the same time. Now we're gonna go translate this into Roche. Yeah, but so Dendy with his Talisman of Evasion, with the Blur, he kind of realizes that Alliance don't have all that much magical damage. It's Loader with a cooldown and some barrage. Aside from that, it's mainly physical. And this TA will... Well, I don't know if she will ever get an MVP in this game, considering how poor she is.
I'm hoping they do.
So this Blur is very, very difficult to deal with. He said, I don't know exactly how they stack the evasion from the Blur as well as the Solar Crest, but he's close to 60.
Who's observing now? Oh, is James observing again?
Oh, James?
James is back. James 2 is the official observer. You've lost all control, Pycat.
And the odds are now equal.
That they are. And I also bet
that is
the
for
Navi.
the series, right?
I bet the Navi would get 100k net worth.
Oh.
How close are they, James?
How close are they? Well, they are... They're only 65,000 gold away, James. So
well, Alliance better put up the best defense they've
if this
ever
game
done.
goes on for another 60, 70 minutes,
I'm in
for... You're in for a long haul.
For a €4 kickback.
Oh, yes. And you're going to get a good return on that, aren't you?
I'm going to get a fantastic return. Dendy not having the best return here from the tier 2 tower, but fortunately he does actually manage to blink out onto his teammate. So General going to go in, Loader going to drop a cooldown. Is he actually going to hit 2? And in comes the combo. EGM doing a lot of damage, will eat a little bit of the blade mail though, but they will collect the kill onto the Legion Commander, but at the cost of Loader. Freezing field thrown down by Saniko as Admiral Bulldog has to dodge that onto the left-hand side. General looking like he could go back in, but they do have vision. And Dendy all the way in the top right, he's caught. He's in no man's land. He's oh, what? He turns a kill. He evades. He keeps evading. He's cheating. He's just punching Ake, and S4 is slept. He's sad, and Saniko is like, now you're on ice. And Dendy doesn't care because he had Aegis. And he still collected all the kills with no HP. So,
How many
the
misses
wombo
was that?
combo wasn't exactly perfect.
Well, I think the fight was... Alliance got their spells out onto a lot of heroes. The problem was they lost Loader before he could deal any real damage. And I also think that Alliance at this point, they're just too far behind in net worth to actually be able to take these fights 5-on-5, especially when Navi have the Aegis.
And yeah, and as you mentioned before, when the rock's down, they're a very unscary team in general, especially since they're behind. I mean, cooldown's going to have a low cooldown, sorry, for Loader. We'll be able to put out some pressure.
Can you say that 5 times fast?
Yes. No. I decline.
Dendy going in here against 4 heroes.
Oh, that's their chase. They're going to be able to slow with EGM. Loader looks like he's going to give away, unfortunately, another duel win to Digirot. Ake going to be slept. General's got himself a blink dagger, going to blink in, and EGM just going to topple over as well. Only S4
and this is
left.
looking like
Now
we're going to take a Rex. This is looking very, very tough for the Lions. They're just going to call it right away. So overwhelming early game here from Navi in this game too. What a turnaround from game 1.
It's almost like they knew I bet them on them to win 2-1.
Yeah.
That's my big bet, by the way.
Are you in cahoots, James? Tell me now.
No.
There's no cahoots?
I just won't tell you.
Yeah, you wouldn't. We'll never know.
Yeah, but nice finish there by Navi. Admiral Bulldog, unfortunately 0-7. S4 0-5 on his TA.
Dota didn't have a great game either there.
No.